Alright, so I'm going to try to solo Lord Kazzak. Pull him right back to where he started. Alright, I don't know how well this is going to go, but if it goes successfully, I'll show all my gear and talents after the fight. He has 3.78 million health. What do we get this on? When damaged, heals the attacker. Okay, well that... Luckily, he can't hit us. 3.798 million. What we do need to be sure of is we need to be sure that we don't let him hit his 3-minute enrage. That's probably going to be an issue if he does that. And we have a plan to defeat that. The plan is we're going to vanish. And when we vanish, he immediately resets his encounter timer. But what doesn't immediately happen is his health does not immediately go back to full. So we're going to try to vanish and then really quickly re-engage him before his health resets. And we're going to do this. That'll like reset the encounter timer, so it'll reset the enrage timer. And hopefully we'll just be able to do that a couple of times to be able to bring him down. But he kind of seems like he has a crap load of health. We might be here a while. He has... let's see. We were just over at Azurgos, who had 4.6 million, and this guy has 3.8 million. So this might take like 20 minutes. We'll go out to about 3 minutes, which is when he enrages and starts spamming Shadow Bolts. And right before that, we'll do the Vanish and see if it works. He's also healing. He is healing a little bit. I think when he Shadow Bolts me with this Twisted Reflection, he gets a heal. But he's not hitting me with physical attacks. So he's not healing very much off of this. And 50,000 is... I mean, it's a lot, but, you know, we're making progress, right? 2 minutes in, he's at 91%. Like, that's good. I'll come back in an hour or two when the boss is almost dead, says F. Daniels. Well, in about 30 seconds, we're gonna vanish. And, less than 30 seconds, and we'll see if it, works. I mean, we've done this trick on Patchwork and on Grobulus, so we know at least it works on them. Let's see. Ready, set. No, despawn. Okay, despawn. Yeah, okay, some bosses do that when you disengage them. They despawn. Okay. So, because he's despawning, Vanish Cheese is not going to work. So, we're just gonna get him all the way to his enrage and see what happens. Oh, you know what? I can use a substantially different set if I can't Vanish Cheese him. Okay, so in 20 seconds, actually, I will Vanish and not immediately re-engage him. Back away a little bit here, and then we'll use a completely different gear set. I was thinking I would need to Vanish very frequently if this was going to work. I'd need to Vanish more than once every 3 minutes. So I put Phantom on my shoulder. Which reduces my Vanish cooldown to 1 minute. But I don't need that. We can go Dusk Wraith. Dusk Wraith. Dusk Wraith. Dusk Wraith. Dusk Wraith Sabatons. And finally, Dusk Wraith Breastplate. So we have 6 pieces tanking set, 2 pieces DPS set, Bloodthirsty on the shoulder for the healing. This should be a significantly higher damage output setup, like by a lot. So let's try again. And because it's higher damage output, it also means I'm going to heal a lot more. which is going to be necessary if we're ever going to out-heal his enrage damage with Shadow Bolt volleys. The only real sod boss is Simon himself, proud to clear BFD and Nomer with you back in P1, P2. Hell yeah. Those are some of the best phases, honestly. Least barrier to entry, 10-man raid size, chill raids that you could actually clear. Does Enrage have a time limit? I mean, it should start 3 minutes in, is my understanding. But then it just goes forever, I think. To reapply Elixir. Elixir is currently at 4 minutes duration. I was considering using Carnage on this boss instead of Unfair Advantage. I did not make that change. Just because I forgot. We'll see. I mean, we'll see how it goes here. But you can see our DPS is way higher. He's already at 90%. 1 minute, 50 seconds in. We just need our Sinister Strikes to hit as hard as possible to generate the most healing possible. So we need the armor debuff up. We need the full Dusk Wraith, you know, set active for the 60% bonus damage to Sinister Strike. So that means 3 bleed and or poison debuffs, which we've got covered with Sebaceous Poison, Occult Poison, Crimson Tempest. Alright, we're at 2 minutes 40 seconds. We currently have the Twisted Reflection debuff, which doesn't seem to get applied to us very often. I wonder if we could just Purification Potion it away when he enrages. Kazzak is supreme. Let's drink it. Does this... Oh, it doesn't remove magic. Okay. Well, 82.4%. He's not really doing much. I thought... does his Shadow Bolt volley have a minimum range? I think we're killing Kazzak, because he doesn't appear to be doing anything to me, despite being enraged. Yeah, okay, I guess we just kill Kazzak, and all the things we thought about being challenging about this boss are not. Health just keeps going down. Okay, 77.3. He might get like a heal in every once in a while. Oh, I wonder if when my food buff fades, if I'm gonna no longer be avoidance capped. I didn't actually calculate the avoidance of this set, so I'm not sure if it's reliant on this well-fed buff. If it turns out that I am reliant on well-fed, it's okay. We can go out and get a ground Scorpok assay that lasts a full hour. I just don't have one in my inventory right now. Let's redo the Demon Slayer. Oh no, I'm taking a little bit of damage. Whatever will I do? Alright. Is this a situation where we were our own worst enemy? I mean, I think so. Like, what this makes me think is that we should go try to solo Onyxia, because that's also a boss that I really thought I wasn't going to be able to solo. What? I don't even know what's happening right now. Does his Shadow Bolt just not hit for very much damage? Or, like... I don't really get it. I thought this phase was gonna totally destroy me. But we're sitting here like nothing's happening. Oop, ban the Twitch spammer in the chat. Problem solved. Kazzak is supreme. Wait, he went supreme again? Wait, look at this. Look at this. Second in rage. 3 minutes later, he supremed again. Okay, we still seem to be doing fine, and his health is still going down more than it's going up. Like, is his cast frequency increasing or something? You can solo any boss that doesn't use spells. Yeah, pretty much. This guy's a big spell user, though, but apparently his spells aren't very good. And we're just wrecking him anyways. I wonder how many times he's gonna go supreme before before this is over. How does this work in PvP? They drop a stun on you, and then you can't dodge while you're stunned, and then they kill you. This is really not overpowered in PvP at all. Also, you can't dodge if an enemy attacks you from behind, so the enemy player can just walk behind you and then attack you. Okay, never mind. Problem solved. I had to focus on something else for a second. We're good. We're good. We're good. Is he gonna supreme again, do you guys think? How many... Like, he already supremed twice, which I didn't know was possible. I bet he'll supreme every 3 minutes. We're coming up on 9 minutes in the fight. That's in about 10 seconds. Is about to be the third supreme. Yep, there we go. Third supreme, which doesn't do anything, by the way. Boss hella annoying. Alright, let's hold off on the Demon Slayer elixir, just because I'm being cheap. Wait for this food buff to fade, and see if he kills me after the food buff fades. Right, we just lost 25 agility. I do not know if I'm still avoidance capped. look at our damage taken. There's still 0 hits from melee. Let's hit this. We could just have a very low chance to be hit, which is, you know, probably what is happening. But I'll leave this up here so we can see if we ever get hit by him. Oh, there was a melee for 1.9 thousand. Yeah, we're no longer capped. And that means he healed for 50k. I bet we're still probably okay. Is that another melee? No, still just the first one. We're still probably okay if we just get hit really infrequently. We're still gonna do more damage to him than we take. Man, he's so large. Zoom my camera out all the way. You still can't even see his face. Okay, that's not a good angle. Refresh, Winterfall Firewater. Ass angle, not as saggy as the Tiger Boss. This looks more like well-toned. You know what? I honestly didn't think this was gonna work. I really thought the Vanish tech was what was gonna do it, but turns out he despawns when you vanish. So that's completely, you know, just not gonna happen. Oh, he's supremed again? Okay. He's now quadruple supreme. And we're still making great progress on deleting his health bar. Still hurting him more than he's healing. Pretty sure I don't have a ground Scorpok assay. Ooh, I do have a roids, but if we hit the roids, then ground Scorpok assay will be on 1 hour cooldown even if we go and get one, so I don't want to do that. Ooh, you know what I can do? Coalesced Regret Elixir. Refresh that. Why not evasion? I don't know, because it probably just doesn't matter. He has such a low chance to hit me that, like, the odds he hits me in any 15-second duration is just like, you know, whatever. This button doesn't matter, probably. The thing that's healing him is this bullshit. Twisted Reflection. When damaged, heals the attacker for 50k. Had I organized my gear a little bit better, he just couldn't hit me even after my food buff faded. But we didn't really plan for this taking that long. So, oh well, we have, I don't know, a couple % chance to be hit with each attack. What does Coalesced Regret do? The Elixir of Coalesced Regret, item from Phase 1 for the, like, crafting quest, also gives you +1 to all stats. 1 agility, 1 strength, 1 stamina, 1 spirit, 1 intellect. Doesn't say that it does that on the item, but it does. You can watch on your character pane when you drink it, and you can see that, indeed, all of your stats go up by 1. Alright, who needs Blaze Fury Medallion? What else drops from this guy that's good? Empyrean Demolisher? The Eskandar's Pelt? Those items aren't really that good these days. The Kazzak Mount? I have never heard of that. I wish, though. Hidden new item added in Phase 8. Empyrean Demolisher still decent for a Fury starter weapon. Yeah, I remember it being good for warriors. Oh, he's supreme again. He's now, let's see, single, double, triple, quadruple. What comes next? Quintuple, 5x. That's quintuple supreme, right? I think this would make a good screenshot for the thumbnail of the video. The boss going supreme 6 times. Does he have an enrage? Yes, it's called 3 minutes he goes supreme. That's his enrage. But his enrage apparently just doesn't really do anything to me. And we're totally fine. He's enraged 5 times now. Man, I gotta say, I really thought this guy was just not on the table, because I thought, like, his Supreme Enrage was just gonna do so much Shadow Bolt volley damage. But you can look at my damage taken, it just doesn't hit for very much. Like, look. 204,000 is all I've taken over 16 minutes. Like, I just out-heal it. It's actually easier to solo than Kagi Marla, I would say. I bet you could do this with significantly weaker gear if you ran Carnage. You just have to be avoidance capped and then probably run Carnage and you'll have enough healing to out-heal that. Please don't heal for 50k right at the end. Ah, he's dead. All right. Kazzak solo. There we go. All right, let's take some screenshots. I'm big glowing green, and I don't think that's gonna look very good in the screenshot. But my face next to his face on the ground, that's gonna be cool. Or my character next to his face. Kazzak solo on the menu. First, technically not first try. We did kind of screw it up a couple of times. Screenshot. 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 Okay, and now Kazzak is supreme. I'll have to crop that in later. All right, let's see the loot. We did all the screenshots. Let's see the loot. The loot. Eskandar's pelt, 159 gold. Red sack of gems, 5 undermine reels, Mugthol's helm, 7 fell cloth, Adventurer's Leggings of Agility, Amber Seal Keeper, Enchant Boots, Greater Stamina, Cow King's Hide, Shell Launcher, Eye of Shadow. Inventory full. Oh my god. Okay, well, this thing's basically worthless. Let's delete that. How can I not? There we go. I think the Eye of Shadow is also pretty much worthless. Alright. As it turns out, the hardest part about killing Kazzak wasn't actually killing Kazzak, but the hardest part was killing the trash mob over here, the big pink Dreadlord. What we ended up having to do was we had to split pull the Dreadlord, which meant we entered stealth and we went next to the Dreadlord, and there were like 4 other trash mobs, or 5 other, yeah, these guys were here, right? And the big Dreadlord was here. So I stood in the middle of them, and then I hit a Fumigator to hit all of them at once with the same attack. You could do it with like a grenade or something too, maybe. And then you sprint, run away, and you hit the boss guy with a poison knife for a little bit of extra damage. And then eventually the other guys will reset and the boss guy won't. So we couldn't fight them all at once because they kept stunning us. So we had to get creative with separating them like that. Okay, why does he still show as having loot on him? Did I not loot something off of him? I just got the Eye of Shadow. Oh, demonic runes. Yeah, okay. Right. The gear we used is extremely, extremely good. But the way Kazzak went, I thought that's probably not necessary. I think if you just used Carnage rune and had Duskwraith 2-piece, and your avoidance capped, you're probably good. Avoidance cap, Duskwraith DPS 2-piece bonus, and Carnage rune on the wrist, you're probably good. What I was using, 6-piece Duskwraith tanking set, Kagi's Clasp, Bloodthirsty on the shoulder for my healing, 3-piece Veiled Shadows equipped, Duskwraith 2-piece damage dealer set, Unfair Advantage here, Duskwraith tank, Duskwraith DPS, 2nd piece, other piece of Veiled Shadows, Ring of Emperor Veclor, Dust of the Defiant, Burrower's Shell, Huhuron Stinger, Dagger of Veiled Shadows, and Deception. I think you do pretty much have to be avoidance capped or damn near close to it, because if he's hitting you with his physical attacks, he heals a lot due to his Twisted Reflection debuff. We weren't fully capped once our food buff faded, but we were close enough that it ended up being okay. Right, so you just saw me kill Kazzak on my most geared rogue, and we're back here to show you how to kill the mini bosses, and then to also do it on this rogue, who is significantly less geared, only has 2-piece Duskwraith damage dealer set, none of the Duskwraith tanking set. The only other item from Scarlet Enclave we're using is 1 Sunblessed Leathers. But we got the same setup with like mostly gearing for damage and then putting the Bloodthirsty on the shoulder rather than equipping 4 pieces of the Death Dealer set. This character is going to be completely avoidance capped, so the bosses should not be able to hit me. And here's the first of the mini bosses. You have to kill all 3 of these mini bosses before Kazzak will spawn. The first 2 are not really hard, and the third one isn't really hard either, but he's just surrounded by a bunch of trash mobs, and it's a little difficult to separate him from the trash mobs. And if you pull him together with the trash mobs, then he is difficult because those guys do a bunch of stuns and a bunch of annoying stuff. The only annoying thing about these trash mobs, though, is they're all immune to poison, so my Deadly Brew's not doing anything. My Sebaceous Poison isn't going on the target, lowering their armor. And because I'm not putting poisons on the armor, my Duskwraith damage dealer is not really activating. So yeah, they're a little bit obnoxious. Put expose armor up. Now, this character is geared a bit weaker than the other, like I said. We don't quite have enough avoidance gear to be able to run the Veiled Shadows set in our gear set, because they don't have very good avoidance stats on them, which is unfortunate. We lose a lot of damage not having the Veiled Shadows set active, but it is what it is. Rain of Fire doesn't really do very much. There we are. Aquamarine, good enough. Alright, now we gotta find the giant Felguard, wherever he is. Also, oh, I was missing some of my consumables. I didn't actually press all of my consumables, and I'm in the wrong talent build. Okay, let's actually go to the correct talent build and get the rest of our consumables on. That was a, you know, little bit of extra difficulty. We want our Ironsides active, Elixir of the Old Gods active, Giants Honey Badger are up, Winterfall Firewater, and here's the big Felguard Elite. That's who we want to fight. Stealth up so we don't aggro any of these trash mobs. I think we can fight him like right here, or where's he going? Going over there. Let's sprint and let's just get him in this corner. Good. Clean pull. No other mobs near us. Maybe we'll move a little bit like this. I'm doing the best I can to activate my Duskwraith with bleeds to get that bonus damage. But, you know, it's just gonna suck on these mobs. Kazzak himself is not immune to poison, so we're totally good there. Oh, and because I don't have occult poison on the target, my poison knife doesn't actually refund me any energy. I actually shouldn't be pressing that. I was pressing it kind of out of habit, because normally it's just a very good button to be pressing. What? Why'd this guy join all of a sudden right at the end of the fight? Alright, I'm just 50,000 health. Yeah, we'll kill him. I would like to save my Vanish cooldown in case something more egregious happens later. Can also just be chugging Demon Slayers. Elixir of Demon Slaying for a bunch of bonus damage here. Nice Duskwraith tracker. Yeah, this is a new new addition. I like it. I think it's good. It goes away and it's, you know, disappears from the screen when you have all three, like, bleed and or poison debuffs active and you're fully charged. It only pops up as like a reminder saying like, hey, you're not fully activating your Duskwraith bonus. So that's pretty good, I think. And it also only pops up when you're targeting an enemy and you have Duskwraith 2-piece equipped and you have less than 3 poison and or bleeds on that target. And you can get that on the Simon I Show Discord. Linked in the video description for the YouTube frogs, and you guys all know. I'll put it in the chat right now. Discord. This is probably all gonna make it to YouTube. Alright, so in this section we have to clear out. Okay. Now we'll just kill all these mobs. Stunned. standing in rain of fire. How much do we really need to clear out? I can't remember how long it took the other mobs to disengage. We definitely don't have to clear as much as we did last time. What we cleared last time was definitely excessive. Scroll of Spirit? Okay, I'll use it. I think if we just kill, like, the straight line to right here is going to be enough. Maybe we gotta get that guy, too. What if I just get him right now? Blade Flurry his ass. Stunned. Bye-bye, Blade Flurry. One more? Maybe two more? Okay, there's a couple more. Have to get most of that. Yeah, probably all three of those guys. Annoying. Is it worth it? With this much trash clearing required? Is soloing Kazzak worth it? Lowest level to solo Hogger? Level 1. You just solo him at level 1 with thrown weapons and kiting him around a fence. Is very annoying and obnoxious, and if you make a mistake, you probably get one shot if he hits you. Hardest part is getting there without leveling up. Yeah, it could be true. So we food buffed before killing the first mini boss. It's at 4 minutes left, which means that we've been in here fighting for about 11 minutes. So I'm guessing all in all, this is going to be around 30 minutes from zone in to killing Kazzak, because Kazzak's going to take a little over 15 probably. It took 17 on my other character, so it's probably going to take close to 20 on this character. Demon Slayer dropped off. Yeah, okay, let's refresh it. Okay, this is the tricky part about this thing. You have to pull them in a very particular way. You need one singular ability that hits all of them at once. So I'm going to use a Fumigator. It has a pretty big AoE, and I can stealth up and hit a bunch of these guys all at once. That's important because it's going to allow these guys to reset and this guy to stay with me when I run away. And we can't fight these guys all at once. They are too strong. So, here we go. Ready, set, do this. Then we hit just that guy to generate additional threat on him. And keep moving, and let the other guys... Oh, we were feared? Oh, this... I did not plan for that. I don't remember him doing that to me last time. They've already reset. Okay, we're good now. We're good now. We can just sit here and kill him. You know, we can stun him. We probably should stun him when he tries to cast those Mind Blasts. Stun or interrupt them. Perfect. Fumigator is made by engineers, but can be used by anyone. So there's no, like, profession requirement of being an engineer to be able to execute that pull. If you are an engineer, you could use a Goblin Sapper charge, too, and they're just cheaper. The amount of damage, you know, the Fumigator does more damage. But the damage isn't what's important there. It's that it hit everything all at the same time. And then we'll be ready to go to Kazzak as soon as this stupid Dreadlord guy is dead. There we go. Kazzak is supreme, he says. Alright, let's see how it goes on this character. Double defense rune, that's obviously not what we want. Let's fix it. Let's get a sword rune. And then I think all the other runes are in okay shape. We should... Let's see, drink a fresh fire water. We'll eat a fresh filet o flank, but we'll have our ground scorpok assay ready if the filet o flank expires mid-fight. I'm assuming it will. I'm assuming this will take long enough that that will happen. We can put Sharpstone on the main hand, Elemental Sharpening Stone, then Implacable Blackguard gets Sebaceous Poison. And then, let's see, Bloodthirsty's over there. I think we're good to go here. We'll refresh this in 2 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, oh, he's moving now. I don't want him to move. Come back here, you bitch. Okay, he's in. Alright. It's Kazzak time. How much damage can we do? The previous character was doing about 3.8 thousand DPS and killed it in over 17 minutes. This guy's sitting at 3.2 right now. We know it was going to be worse. Don't know how much worse. You're almost capped on reels. How many reels do I have? 243. Don't worry, we won't overcap. We'll get to 248 on this guy. So, what we really found out about this boss is that his enrage doesn't do jack. He really doesn't do much magical damage when he enrages, and he does so little magical damage when he's enraged that we can just out-heal it. So we're not concerned about his 3-minute enrage. Ooh, we've made it up to 3.5. 3.4 thousand DPS now? Okay, that's better. Tighter play, better use of our finishing moves? I don't know. Demon Slayer fell off. Thank you for the reminder. Refreshed. Crimson Tempest up. Blade Flurry up. We do have 4 pieces of Bone Scythe on, so we get that nice 1-minute cooldown on Blade Flurry. Let's try from this side for a while, just, you know, for a little different perspective. So with this setup, there's no Veiled Shadows and there's no 6-piece Duskwraith tanking set. Those are both really big energy generation tools. Cost reduction, one's cost reduction, one's energy generation, kind of the same thing. So what I'm using to sustain my energy is Poison Knife. I'm just trying to be sure that I cast it every time it's up because it's giving me a big boost of energy every time I do. And as long as I make good use out of Poison Knife, I should be fine. So here's Kazzak going Supreme. He does that every 3 minutes, and he just stays Supreme. Like 3 minutes into the fight, he goes Supreme. You're not supposed to take another 3 minutes to defeat him, but we learned last time that he just Supremes every 3 minutes. I don't think the additional Supremes, when he goes like double Supreme, I'm pretty sure they don't do anything. Ooh, we're taking some hits. But our health is staying good. Our source of healing is pressing Sinister Strike a lot. Our Sinister Strike heals for 15% of the damage it deals. So as long as we hit big Sinisters and we hit them often, we out-heal his damage. And then the Enrage is just a non-issue. The Enrage is the Supreme. That's what I mean by the Enrage. Where bird perspective? That's the best I can give you for bird perspective. Blade Flurry up. Health is looking totally fine. Yeah, his Shadow Ball Volley, it just doesn't do very much damage, it turns out. I guess it's way more serious when it's hitting a raid group of a bunch of people. But it doesn't do that much damage to an individual. You know, the total damage dealt is, I guess, mostly based on it hitting everyone in the raid. I was thinking that on my other character, I might be able to use Carnage Wrist Rune and use Queen's Fall and snapshot a really big Crimson Tempest at the start of the fight. And then the Carnage healing from that Crimson Tempest might actually be sufficient to out-heal Kazzak's Enrage. I did like a rough calculation on like how much it would have to heal, and I was like, yeah, it's actually not that hard. So we might try that at some point, is try to go on the Queen's Fall rogue. But I picked this rogue for the second kill of Kazzak because it's my least geared rogue. I didn't want to just show another, like, you know, 6-piece Duskwraith, Queen's Fall, unobtainable gear used to kill this boss type of thing. Kite him to Stormwind. You cannot kite him to Stormwind. In Season Discovery, these bosses are inside of instances. People generally still call them world buffs. World bosses. But they do exist within an instance. So there's no, like, PvP competition over them or anything like that. Ooh, 3 seconds on Demon Slayer. I actually have my DPS really high on this character. 3.6. It was at 3.7 a moment ago. That's impressive. Considering how differently this character is geared, I would say worse this character is geared. I'm impressed that I'm able to do so much. So he's supremed twice now. We're 7 minutes, 50 seconds into the fight. The timer is really small, but it's up in the corner right there. He'll supreme again at 9 minutes. And it looks like we're having just no problem out healing the damage from the Shadow Bolt volley. Yeah, so, this boss is a bit more lucrative to kill than Azurgos, because he always drops the Eye of Shadow, which is a trinket used for a priest quest that is, like, no longer really relevant. But this is still, attracting value. Like, when I killed him previously, I checked the auction house. It was at 100 gold on Crusader Strike Horde side, recently. So, like, it's pretty valuable, and the reason it attracts value is incredibly stupid. It's an epic trinket that doesn't do anything, but has a really high item level. So, players that care about just bolstering their gear score, will equip this item. Uh-oh, hang on. Why am I taking damage? I didn't lose my food buff. I'm just taking damage all of a sudden. I need to figure out why that is. I'm not out healing anymore. He has gone Supreme again. He's 3rd Supreme now. Use my Burrower's Shell. I wonder if the damage ramps up. Like, if he Supremes again, is he casting more frequently? Nah, maybe I just got unlucky or something. I seem to be totally fine now. Never mind, I got scared for nothing. Mortality 1606 with a change hat request. I can do that for you. There we are. Alright, so we're definitely not gonna kill him before this food buff fades. I was holding out some hope that we might get close, but that's for sure not happening. So let's dunk the ground Scorpok assay for 25 more agility. Might as well get that earlier rather than later. Helps us deal more damage. Yeah, so yeah, people buy that trinket for gear score padding. Is apparently what they buy, you know, what I'm told is what they buy it for. Alright, we got another change hat request. Alright, that one's not... There we go. This guy is definitely way more fun to fight than Azurgos. Azurgos was super lame and boring. The thing about Azurgos is, like, he has some mechanics that you can interact with. Like a Frost Breath that you can kick, and like a Blizzard you can move out of. And, like, maybe if your gear's really bad, those things matter, but, like, they just don't. So, like, he's doing all these mechanics, and you can just, like, get hit by the Frost Breath and stand in the Blizzard, and they do so little damage that you out-heal them. And I guess the fact that I, like, could interact with those mechanics, but don't need to because they're so weak, I don't know, just makes it really boring. And it was like a 30-minute kill for me. It could maybe be like optimized down to 25 minutes if I did better. Demon Slayer elixir? Oh shit. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Thank you. Blade Flurry coming up again. We're now 13 minutes in. Kazzak is at 24%. Just activate Burrower's Shell whenever I feel like it. Whenever I see that it's available. You could definitely get some damage absorption. I guess if you are struggling to produce enough healing to make this work, you could run Shadow Protection potions on cooldown. You know, just press a Shadow Protection every 2 minutes. And that would amount to a good amount of health. Are you logging this? Ever check parses on solos? No. I don't really like Warcraft logs. I think their whole, like, leaderboard system of, like, ranking players' performances has really poisoned a lot of the community and done more harm to the game than good. I think Warcraft logs for, like, combat analytics and finding out what happened in your raid and what you can improve is like a really good tool. But that's not what most people visit the website for. They visit the website to look at their parses and their leaderboard rankings because they want to say that they're better than their friend or whatever. I think the game would be better if Warcraft logs didn't exist. I think it does more harm than good. So, yeah, I don't really at all go out of my way to post my Warcraft, you know, my solo boss kills on Warcraft logs. Because I don't like the website. Oh, wait, he's supremed again? That's his 5th supreme? And we're still just going strong? He's at 12%. So we're probably gonna kill him before he supremes again. That's probably his last supreme. Oh, shoot, we just dropped, like, all of our finishing moves at once. Demon Slayer has 2 minutes left. Can we make it before having to refresh Demon Slayer again? How's your day been so far? We had kind of a not-so-good Scarlet Enclave. I mean, we full cleared. But, like, the raid was kind of scuffed because we didn't have a proper raid leader, so it was kind of a bunch of idiots bumbling around for a while without, like, clear direction moving forward, which made it a bit frustrating of an experience. But then after that, we found out that we could solo Kazzak, and then we did that, and it was good. $16 minutes, 56 seconds. So we're a minute away from the 6th Supreme. And it's not like we can choose to stop attacking to let him go Supreme a 6th time. If we stop attacking, we stop healing. And then he actually kills us. Well, that ain't happening today. There it is. 2nd Kazzak kill secure. No Jiv to whip. No, Jiv was there, but he was just like multitasking, doing something else, and couldn't pay much attention to the raid. What raid was this? Scarlet Enclave? Yeah, that I was talking about a Scarlet Enclave we did earlier today. What do we got? 138 gold. He dropped like 170 last time. Scammed. Eye of Shadow again. Shell Launcher Shotgun. 5 reels. Mooncloth Shoulders. Those seem like they kind of suck. Brightcloth Gloves. Seems like that sucks too. Lady Elizabeth's Pendant. Ring of Entropy. Healing Ring with crit stamina and intellect. Yellow Sack. Girdle of Uther. Blacklight Bracer. And I think that's it. It's just the demonic runes. Yeah, we can vendor them. Okay, what's in the yellow sack? Let's see. Arcane crystals, maybe? Yellow sack of gems. Arcane crystal. Let's go. 22 gold. And the rest of them are completely terrible.